embracing change. So that means this week I changed my hair part from the middle to the side. Oh, welcome, and then one more hearty welcome to Bangs and Botox, women who wear aging well. Brought to you by, well, me, Diane Dean-Epps, author of Bangs and Botox, the humor book, comedian, teacher, baby boomer, writer, Mimi and mama to the second power, and a woman who doesn't think so much that age is just a number, but rather that age is an invitation to leave nothing, I say, unsaid, undone, or unrealized. It's our time to do, be, and feel the power of owning our own space and voice. Yes. While it's true, this is a one woman, all Diane channel show, meaning there are no guests. It is designed for women who wear aging well. You know, you're one of them, maybe. Women who've seen some things, heard some things. Oh, have we said some things? And then we've done some things. And it's all contributed to how well you're wearing aging. It all looks so good on you, may I say. It does. And P.S. to my ex-wife some friend, the welcome mat is always out for you as well. Bangs and Botox is for women and anyone who loves women or one woman in particular. It's pretty inclusive that way. The style of this podcast reflects my humor writing style, which I call sit down, stand up. This should feel more like we're seated at a two-top table together, less comedy club and more comedy coffee clatch. It is truly a slice of wonderful to be here with you today. Raise your hand if you're having a good day. I see you. I mean, I don't see you, but I feel you out there. I'm having a peachy day myself. It's a balmy 72 degrees outside, and I'm headed off for two fun pursuits today, a pedicure and hot Pilates, the two P's. And after this fun pursuit, which is recording my podcast, we'll go for that other P in podcast. Episode 4 found me pushing personal and professional limits with hair puns as far as the eye could see and the ear could hear. I told you how much I treasure luscious locks and how my hair magician makes that dream a reality for me. This time around, I'm going to talk about relationships. Ooh. And specifically, relationships active senior style. Why? Well, because that's exactly where I'm dwelling after being married, yay, these many 42 years. Nope. You heard that right. 42. It's a large number, is it not? There's a fun fact about the number 42. If you read Douglas Adams' The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, 42 is the fictional answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. P.S. We never get to know the question, just the answer. I feel like sometimes isn't that kind of like how life is, and especially work life? What was the question? And though there's been many a Reddit thread and spirited discussions around the globe, the author of this book says this was just a random number he chose as a joke. I love that. So if you're keeping track, this episode marks my 5th one, and it's a little something I call Honey Maybe. The topic is active senior relationships. And let me tell you a little bit about that in just a sec. Hey, maybe you already know this one, but I just learned about the 70-30 guideline for healthy relationships. I mean, talk about better late than, the whole never thing. Evidently, in order to maintain a balanced relationship, is there such a thing? We're supposed to have 70% of our time spent sharing activities, and the 30% is reserved for individual pursuits and personal growth. Huh. Anyone else coming up with the opposite application on that one? Today's podcast festivities just barely touch on active senior relationships. I mean, this can be anything from, I don't know, what should we go with? 50 years old and plus? I'm not sure. You decide. I feel, though, that this topic could be at least a 6-part series. There's so much to talk about, at least in terms of my own life. I don't know about you guys. Well, you see, because I feel like every day I tell you, there's something that I could write about or, again, talk about on the topic. I mean, based on longevity alone, it's safe to say that hubby and I, my husband, hubby, have some experience with this relationship thing. Now, notice I didn't say we've got this relationship thing wired, figured out, or demystified, nor will I ever say that. In fact, if anyone ever tells you those things, then run. Because in my experience, the next thing you know, you'll be eyebrow deep in digital photos as they regal you with their tales of relationship prowess, learning so much after they've been together for, oh, I don't know, maybe 5 years. All right, so here's where I get snippy. I'm sorry, but if you haven't been slogging it out, oh, oops, did I say slogging? I meant spending the most enjoyable hours, 70% of them evidently, of your life, your daily life, in a relationship that is measured in multiple decades. I feel you should just sit still, strike a pose, and listen up. Relationships don't even get interesting until after year 10. Am I right? I'll just assume you just yelled out, heck yeah, you're right. I mean, there are no secrets. Should I put those little quotey things around secrets? Good thing you can't see that, huh? To a long-term happy relationship. In my estimation, that's how I feel, but I'll offer up a couple of maybe hot tips. Should we call them warm tips? Why does that sound so weird and wrong? I don't know, but I said it and I'm not going to erase it. So, you know you're happy in your romantic situation if you would choose them again in what I'll call a love lineup without feeling like it's a should kind of thing. As in, you should choose them again because, well, you've gone this far. So what's another 20, 30, 40 years? Just keep going. And there should, but speaking of shoulds, I feel be some romance. Am I right? I'll just assume you just yelled out, "You're right again." But we also need to be real about the needs relationships fill, like grooming. Oh, yes, we need to love, like, admire, respect our partner, but we need their help to double check our grooming. We all need someone besides the cat or dog in our life to give us the once over before we head out into the world with our wayward hairs growing and not growing, wayward clothing, wearing and not wearing. Quality control becomes absolutely crucial. In our household, we strive for authenticity, and by Jove, listeners, we've achieved that goal beyond our wildest imagination. You see, what I mean by that is we're not in what I call a Facebook relationship. Oh, and it doesn't have to be Facebook. This just seems to be my demographic. So that's my reference. Any social media apply. You've seen that photogenic couple, been annoyed by that couple, been humbled by that couple. They're always going to exotic locales, doing cool things, and having the best time as they document every single blessed moment of their fabulous experiences. And there I am, watching them live their lives while I sit wearing my house shorts, topped by my favorite ratty concert tee, and I'm wearing vestiges of yesterday's mascara as I scroll down the rabbit hole that is checking statuses. If I were to post our couple's activities, we'll call us a power couple, there would be pictures of us teaming up to simultaneously clean out the litter box and pick up dog poop. Yes, this is inside our palatial mansion. Applying arthritis cream to each other's backs and engaging in a tug of war over the last fat boy ice cream sandwich while we both yell dibs on the one we found, well, we excavated it from the freezer drawer we forgot about. And you know what's funny? In what seems like no time at all, so, maybe 5 years, the dancing duo is, and we'll use the quote marks, quote, amicably decoupling. I think that might be my own term. I sort of, you know, made a hybrid out of what's out there in pop culture. It's fancy talk for breaking up, or if they're divorcing, that means that there's paperwork involved, and so that also is applicable to this situation. And us, well, we're just starting to get serious about one another. I call us the Bickersons because we get into conversational spins where no one wins. I know. I heard it just now, the rhymey thing. Spins and wins. Disagreements are small, laughable, and meaningless in terms of actual content. We've been known to disagree to agree on anything from what barbecue sauce is the best to what one of us just said to the other one. I find myself yelling out, let's go to the videotape. That's the latest technological terminology brought to you by the year 1968. Oh, I think we have an excellent premise for a TV show. Just being who we are, meandering through our daily lives. There's various versions. The Bickersons at home, the Bickersons run errands, and the Bickersons on the road. Those are just a few of the overarching themes for, episodes that could be in development. You know, if I had a development deal. I write a lot about the Bickersons in my humor book, Bangs and Botox, just in case you'd like to read about our antics. Oh, and relationships. Woo! A lot of fodder there. Am I right? I'll just assume you're saying right. I've written many, many, many humor columns about my relationship. It's what they low hanging fruit in the marketing realm. I mean, I'm living it, so it's easy. Though conversely, we might say that relationships aren't always easy. Anything but, right? So today's story time with Diane is a little something I call the honey maybe list. You've heard of a honey-do list. Well, it's like that, but different. So it's also a cautionary tale for those of you who may be considering retirement. Before we get to that, I want to make sure and let you know how you can engage with the subject matter and me, of course, only when and if you want to. Bangs and Botox is distributed by a number of providers, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, all listed on my website at DianeDean-Epps There you'll find loads of goodies, including the Bangs and Botox podcast tab. These channels are all absolutely free. This is not and won't be a subscription-only podcast. It's for us, the masses. Drop me a line through my website contact page or give me a shout out in the comments section of your chosen channel. All right, let's do this. Story time. Fortunately, after 15,404 days, 6 hours, and 39 minutes of marriage, my starter husband, who looks to be a finisher, and I, well, we still like each other. This is the case even after the life-changing event that occurred, slamming us together in unrelenting physical togetherness 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Caution, everyone. There's a lot of math in here. And no, I'm not talking about the large worldwide event that rhymes with systemic. The event to which I'm referring to is, dun, 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 his retirement. Yea, it has been approximately 755 days, 14 hours, and 13 minutes since my husband superannuated. While our union has not been without expectation in the past, his retirement has taken it to a whole new honeydew level. You see, initially, my significant other's post-working full-time plan consisted of focusing 100% on his music career rather than the previous 50-50 musician-social worker ratio he rocked. And yes, rolled for a few decades. While the man now has more gigs than you can shake a tambourine at, I feel his plan needs to include my honeydews. Why? Well, because that 100% gigging seems to take up about 25% of his time. I know this because at this point in his career and mine, I was working from home. When I jogged by his man cave on my way to my 3-second bio break, he was in the middle of a nap, watching golf, or a combination thereof. Therefore, he has plenty of bandwidth for my daily specials. Now, that statement is excerpted from our actual conversation, but I used the dreaded second person you, as in you have plenty of bandwidth for my daily specials. Please do insert my harumph. After our spirited discussion about honey maybes versus honeydews, we came to an understanding. But even I can admit my lists are daunting. There's something else I can admit. They're weird. While regular honeydew lists consist of household repairs or chores, mine are more, what's the word? Eclectic. We begin every weekday. After all, I'm not a monster. My groom does need weekends off. With me creating a normal list. Even though I start with the most innocuous of tasks, it spirals from there. Let me tell you about what that means. So this list that follows is an actual list with actual instructions and commentary. I only provide the latter when needed, but you'll notice when needed represents the majority of my requests. Number 1, Barry Lizard. You'll find him laid out respectfully next to the bowl full of water on the indoor-outdoor turf where I found him submerged and non-responsive. Sidebar. We need more boxes of tissue. Number 2, change magnifying mirror batteries. Note, it's the 10 times magnifying mirror on my dressing table, not the 5 times magnifying wall mirror over the sink, nor the 25 times magnifying pull-out mirror on the closet door. Number 3, Artfully arrange new solar lights in the Yoga Hill garden area. Number 4, untangle necklaces. Remember, you're in it to win it. Number 5, purchase lavender mint goat soap. Please, no substitutions. Number 6, cut the wrong sized gel foot pad insert so it fits into my purple trainers. Number 7, water all sunflowers in the sunflower nursery. Please sprinkle them gently with water as opposed to pressure washing them with the hose as though you're removing paint from the side of a barn. Number 8, check behind the greenhouse to see if there's a snake. Update. It wasn't a snake, but rather a very snaky looking and stressed out lizard. Maybe it was the brother of the RIP lizard, for which we provided a beautiful species friendly service. We can't know for certain. Number 9, locate stripy petunias like the ones I planted in the yellow and blue pots near the brick patio. Please, no substitutions. Number 10, retrieve the purple plastic pitcher from the second branch of the peach tree. Don't ask. Number 11, find and purchase the melon drink I said I liked the other night when we were at that restaurant. Number 12, remove wads of pine tree pitch from the bottom of my favorite flip-flops. Before you ask, I don't know. Number 13, get my favorite shabby chic green vase off the kitchen shelf that faces the fridge. I'm just asking, mind you, but might we stop placing this freaking thing on the highest shelf, which makes me feel like I'm scaling Mount Kilimanjaro when I try to retrieve it, both having the same potentially disastrous consequences for me? Signed, your loving sugar mama. Number 14, buy local honey for allergy relief. Please, no substitutions. So in conclusion, oh no, wait a minute. Hold on. Is that a lizard the cat just brought into the house? Oh, I'm going to need to add this to my late breaking afternoon honey maybe list. Determine the last known whereabouts of the lizard Mr. Snoodles brought into the house. And now for my recommendations. A little something I call the somethings. I know, way off the cleverness chart, right? Something I'm watching that's so hilarious. The Australian comedy called Fisk. F as in Frank, I-S-K like kite. It's streaming on Netflix and it revolves around a corporate lawyer, Helen Tudor-Fisk, who had both her marriage and her career tank. So she takes a job at a strip mall type law firm that specializes in wills and probate. And it is a hoot. It's already in its 3rd season. In my bid to stay relevant, I frequently watch pop culture documentaries, and most especially I enjoy the ones about musicians. I loved the recent MGK documentary about Machine Gun Kelly, also known as Colson Baker, on Hulu, and it's called Machine Gun Kelly's Life in Pink. What an incredibly talented, multifaceted artist. I highly, highly, highly recommend that one. Another winner is a hilarious show from Tyler Perry Studios that's airing on Netflix right now, and it's called Miss Governor. The main character, she's trying to shine in politics. She's the Mississippi's first Black lieutenant governor who must manage her zany family and overcome a boss who's stuck in the past. Terry Vaughn is the lead, and she heads up just an incredibly talented cast. Big, big must watch. Something I'm reading, 5 Wishes of Mr. Murray McBride by Joe, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Seipel. You must, speaking of must, have tissues near you because this plot line is going to make you come unglued. In a good way, though. It's about a lonely 100-year-old widower. He was a baseball player, and he just lost his wife about a year or so before. Maybe it was even 2 years. And then he just, life feels meaningless until he meets 10-year-old Jason, who needs a new heart. And I just finished, there's a follow-up book also called The Final Wish of Mr. Murray McBride. And it just does a nice job with continuing the storyline. I'm telling you, as an English teacher, I know I already love theme, but this one is so chock full of just all the goodies: love, loss, redemption, forgiveness, connection, all good stuff. I think it's so powerful to remind us that maybe we all need to make our list of wishes also. Something I learned, well, talk about relevance earlier. So I learned two very hip. Oh boy. Can you be relevant if you're still using the word hip? I know the answer. Hip is so thematic for me too, even as you're aging. It's all about the hips. Anyway, references that have to do with relationships that I learned. I had a particularly dark viewing chapter recently when I submerged myself into reality TV world. And this is where I learned what the cool kids are saying. The slang term being thirsty means you're angling for attention, but caution, this one can also have a sexual overtone. I don't think either my barista nor I will ever be the same after a recent interchange we had before I knew what this meant. And I started my order by looking into his young, wonderful eyes and saying, I am so thirsty today. Oh, are you cringing? Me too. The next handy little term you might want to know in case you're a chronic misspeaker like me is the ick. The ick. It means you get a sudden feeling of disgust or revulsion towards someone you once were extremely attracted to. This is usually triggered by something small, like maybe, pizza sauce on the face. In the past, I've always used the word icky. This is icky in its many forms to describe nausea due to poor food choices. I may need to watch that one now. Thing I'm doing, I'm knitting for charity. I know it sounds like the punchline to a really unfunny joke, doesn't it? Truth be told, I've been knitting scarves for charity for years, but now I've had to turn it up to 11, knitting like a mofo, because October Breast Cancer Awareness Month is right around the corner. If you're crafty with acrylics, you might want to check out hair2knit.org. They send out hand knit and crocheted items like scarves, hats to shelters, hospitals, nursing homes, and hospices. And there's Christmas at Sea. That program is also amazing. It's sponsored by a church that coordinates a year-long effort to provide all manner of supplies and handcrafted gifts that they send to mariners and seafarers during Christmas time. Before I yodel out, that's a wrap, let's get to our closing essential question. Our essential question this time around is more of a restatement from earlier than a new one. If you're in a committed relationship with someone, would you choose them again? Do they enhance your life, make you feel safe, and make you laugh? Hopefully these answers are mostly yes. So here's the next part. Tell them. That's it. Yep, perfectly acceptable to show them versus tell them. And if you're not a relationship person, and not everyone is, and you sure don't have to be, what is your relationship with yourself? Yes, this goes to my continuing theme of self-care, but let's add self-love, self-acceptance, and kindness. Are you setting boundaries for you? Check in. How are you enhancing your own journey? That's a wrap for this week, dear listeners. Our experience is a shared one. Thank you for letting me share this time with you. I'm always mulling topics for future episodes of Bangs and Botox. Maybe you have suggestions, so drop me a line in the comments section. And in the coming weeks, I'm likely to talk about something goofy and broad like food, which includes the fact I have a penchant for old people food. I define old people food as that which you don't have to chew. But I'll tell you what's bubbling up to the surface right now is a show about how active seniors dress. And by that, I mean maybe should dress. You can also find me wherever fine social media channels exist. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, where I can be located under my alter egos of Ms. Right and Ms. Right Now. And just remember, you matter, honey. There's no maybe about that. Until our next Bangs and Botox, Women Who Wear Aging Well Comedy Coffee Klatch podcast, friends.